Welcome back to Razmafzar TV. I'm really happy to have Hayden back on our channel. Hi, Hayden. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Thank you very much. Hayden, we are going to talk about different Persian daggers and knives and different types. And I'm sure many of these types have not been shown before. They are in my books. Of course, you have my books, but many people on these channels don't have my books. So surely they're going to love them. And some of them are not even in my books, but I'm going to share them now. So we see different types of them. Are you happy, Hayden?
I'm excited.
Excellent. Let me just go and see. Okay. Yes, very good. Let me see where this one is. Okay. The topic of today, we are going to see more. Can you see that, Hayden?
Yeah.
Okay. We are going to see, of course, today many more, but here you can see on the far, on top here, left, far left on top, a Khanjar, another Khanjar in the middle. You see a pishqabz here. You see another Khanjar here. You see a card, and you say dual card. What does dual card mean? Both of them go to the same scabbard. As you see, all of them are antiques, of course. All of them are made of patterned crucible steel. There are just some types we are going to see. But let us just move. Khanjar. There are different types of Khanjar, Hayden. Some of them have ivory, mostly walrus ivory. Some of them have horn. Let's call them animal material or horn or walrus ivory, like the one in the middle and the one on the right. And some of them are metal. This one is also made of steel, the handle, right? So these are the major types as far as the handle are gone. We have also handles made of stone, like of jade, like of agate. The whole handle is made of complete uh, jade or agate or so. We have them as well. And then the blade shapes also, surprisingly, many people don't know, we have different shapes of Khanjar blades. Let us just go through them. One of the major types of Khanjar, most of Khanjars on the market, on the antique market, are Khanjars which have a handle made of walrus ivory. Most of them are not carved, but as you see, Hayden, the blade has a midrib is made of crucible steel, but some of them are carved, like this image. What do you think about this, Hayden?
Man, it's exquisite. I can already tell because bone and horn really locks in the hand, and then just the shape it. And these were custom pieces, right? For each
Yes. Yes,
person, it was made for one person, right?
for one person.
Yeah, so I know that their hand is locked with
Yes.
that horn, the ivory, the carving too, the texture helps, and it's probably the perfect fit for whoever it was made for.
Yes, absolutely. And you see, there are different scenes, Hayden. Here in this scene, we see a royal family from Qajar period Iran, the women, and then the husband here, and you see kids here, three kids, right? And mostly kids are depicted here is at the feet of the parents. Some of them are scenes of Rostam fighting of the Shahnameh. And there is also one in Arms and Armor from Iran, without going into detail because we are on YouTube, right? Is shows sexual scenes. I'm sure you've seen that dagger, right? Yeah. Explicit, actually, sexual scenes. That also exists. Uh, yeah, so there are different types, right? Let me just go ahead, Aiden. There's also this one, as you can see it here. The handle is chiseled, carved, is made of crucible steel. The handle is also made of crucible steel, although it's gilded. If you look inside, you can see it. And the scabbard is also made of steel. And you see again a midrib and minimalistic gold inlaying here, also made of patterned crucible steel. What do you think about this one of a metal handle?
I love it. I would be curious to see the front of it,
Ah,
to see if there's texture on the front of the grip.
oh, I don't have it. They're like I can just explain. I mean, I don't have it now. I didn't put it here. What they are made is they're made of two halves of steel, of crucible steel. Then they are put together and pressed together. And then these things go inside. The tang of the blade goes
Yeah.
inside.
Is there texturing along the front of the handle?
Yes, as well.
Because that would be my only concern. If there's no texture, when you get sweat, steel is really
No,
slick.
there's always texturing, also engraving. For example, if inside where we call it this type of like in Shamshir Ahanak, it is also like engravings there.
Mm.
Always, always.
And I love Khanjar.
Yeah.
Mm.
One thing is when you have especially walrus ivory, the very, as in my research, there were three reasons they chose preferred walrus ivory over elephant ivory. One of them is you can really that's what we do as researchers. If you have a walrus ivory and elephant ivory, want to tell the difference is just to spit on your finger, put it on the ivory, let it stick there, stay there for a while. If you want to just bring it up, walrus ivory it sticks, elephant it doesn't. So once you sweat and the handle is in your hand, it sticks to it. Because even when you have bazoo band, back then the real bazoo bands were not like today these reenactors make, right? Here it was always left empty, even if you had gloves. Here was always empty. So you had the contact with your bare skin with your weapon. Hayden, I think we talked about it. As much as we like realistic fighting and sparrings, like what we do today, right? Sharp fighting with sharps was a different cup of tea. You as a soldier, you know that what I mean, like fighting with a real weapon and just simulations. So this was sticking. The second reason they used walrus ivory was superstition. They believed if they're cut and they put walrus ivory on the cut, it helps them. It will stop bleeding, which medically, I doubt that, right? That it helps. And the third one was, you see that here, Hayden, it is from the outer side or edges of the walrus ivory teeth, but sometimes inside. Some of them are made of inside. Inside, the texture, the color is orangish, like orange, and there is a texture, looks like pulade gohardar, looks like patterned crucible steel. So when you see that, you see there is a parallel between the blade pattern and the handle pattern. So that's why you chose walrus ivory. But then it's very solid. You can really hit, nothing happens. But something which is clear to say, of course, as much as walrus ivory is tough material and the structure is also very nice, you can fight with it, no problem. But still, in armored combat, is something different. I mean, come on, that's clear, right? We know that, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's clear, right? That's one thing which we need to take into consideration. The engravings, Hayden, do you see? They're like the paradise, they're animals, vegetal design. Okay, Hayden.
It's it's it's
Oops.
it's interesting because it's like it looks simple and complex at the same time.
Yes. Let me show one more. This is from Al-Qarashi, Mr. Al-Qarashi's collection. Do you
That's
see
the
that?
signature one.
Yes. This is everything made of patterned crucible steel as well. But because this is not gilded completely, you see the pattern. If you look at it closely, you see the pattern on the scabbard, you see the pattern on the handle, and minimalistically gold inlaying. You see that?
Just little accents.
Yes. What do you think about this blade?
Man, this is a pinnacle type Hanjar.
Yeah.
I like that it's straight too.
Yes.
How long is the blade?
This is like 35 to
35.
35.
That's a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one. Yes, it's a big one.
Mm. And is it sharp all the way down too?
Yes. Okay.
Even where
No,
that
this
pattern is?
one's yes. This one, you can see this here. It's always sharp, right? This one as well, always sharp. This one is specific. It has a 40. Here is not sharp. It's sharpened here and here. So we can hold it in that area as well if you wish. Like this, you
That's
see?
so beautiful.
Yeah. Very solid one. A strong midrib. Hayden, look at the point. It
Oh
can
yeah,
easily go through the rings in a male armor. You see that?
pull them apart.
Yeah. You see that? That's the
Hmm.
only reason you have such a tip. You don't need such a tip on a bare skin, you know?
It looks reinforced. Is it
Yeah, it
reinforced
is.
as
It
well?
is reinforced. It is reinforced. It is.
Imagine having that on your right hip.
Oh God. You can say goodbye. That's it. If you use it against someone. Yeah.
It looks it looks like this type of Khanjar influenced Kurdish style because I've seen Kurdish styles that look similar to this without as much
Mhm.
detail.
Yeah, I mean that's what. Yeah, these are those ones with the what is this? With horn handle. Those ones you mean? Yeah, yeah. You see that it is less curved compared to this one. You see that? And the tip here is very acute, very sharp. Look at this, thin. Another one is from my book Arms and Armor from Iran. You see that these ones have a handle made of copper, scabbard made of copper, and beautifully enameled, right? And in my book, I show it one of them. I show different types. Guys, some of them are made of pure gold. The handle is pure gold. The scabbard is pure gold and is enameled. Yes. There was a collector who told me years ago he has one made of copper, and I said, this is one is gold. He was so happy. Some of them are made of gold. Can you imagine that, Hayden? Royal,
That's
of
funny.
course, for those
This
rich
this
guys.
is like looking at the wall of a mosque.
Yes,
How much
excellent.
detail.
That's right. Like in Isfahan mosques, right? The
Yes.
same pattern. Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. It is like you're looking at Isfahan or Shiraz mosques with those
Yes.
patterns. Absolutely.
And you
And,
just
you
wrap
know,
it with that pattern.
exactly. And when you're in Isfahan and you go there, your heart starts because this Persian, when you move, it flows. Did you know that? The mosques in Isfahan, they flow. You think water is flowing when you move your head. Really? You think something is flowing on the wall. That's Persian architecture. You see it nowhere. Nowhere in the region, only in Iran. You think the walls are moving, water is flowing. Now, this one as well, when you move it, you feel something is running on the scabbard, on the handle. Can you believe this?
It's making my eyes spin and it's only a picture.
Yeah. You see those rich people, okay, they were royals, they were like in the court,
Yeah.
they were rich people. Even today, who can collect these items? They're all rich people, rich man's hobby. Let's put it that way, right? Yeah.
I wouldn't even want to take that to battle. That'd be like my Rolex.
Yeah, it's a Rolex, absolutely. It's like Rolex today back then.
Yeah.
When you had such a thing, it is like you have a Rolex and you show to people. Back then, oh, he has like a Rolex. Of course it was. Which one do you prefer, having an expensive Rolex or this one?
I would take that. I don't need an expensive watch.
Exactly. Look
At
at
least
this.
I could still use that if I needed to.
Yeah, of course. They all have functional blades, all of them. And now there is another one. I wanted you to see that. This is also enameled. Unfortunately, parts of enameling are gone. These are also analyzed, published also in my book. But the blade, look at the blade, is also made of pattern crucible steel. But look, sorry, Hayden, look at this, Hayden. The middle of you see that doesn't have a midrib. It has a fuller. Do you see that?
Mm.
You see that? This one has a fuller, not a midrib. Yes. And these are from Sasanian kings on it, enameled Sasanian kings. And these are like angels, right? Yeah. Half naked angels. I just need to say something to everyone here. Guys, showing half naked women, angels, or miniatures or paintings was never a problem in Persian art. I need to mention that again and again. I think Hayden knows what I'm referring to, right?
Yes.
Exactly. So don't please generalize, oh, in that region they didn't do that. Please, this doesn't, it's not with Persian art, right? You can find it everywhere. Do you like this Khanjar?
And it's so interesting. From a glance, it kind of looked like Orthodox iconography. It's not,
Yes.
but it's like it kind of reminds me of iconography.
Yes, it
Very
does.
interesting.
It
The
does.
handle, the grip of the handle. This is a completely unorthodox Hanjar of what I'm used to.
Yes. Now,
Very
when we were
interesting.
in Isfahan, unfortunately, next time I go there, I'm going to get a permission. But back then, I just didn't go as a researcher there. I went to the Armenian church. You know, one of the biggest, largest Armenian churches in the world is in Isfahan, you know, in Georgia.
Yes,
It's the
yes. And it's
biggest.
beautiful.
Wow. Your heart stops with, yeah. You know, the whole walls are this like this. The whole walls, everywhere, everywhere. Like a cathedral with that. This Persian art there in Armenian church, magnificent. Unfortunately, again, back then I went as a tourist with my late dad and my mom and my family, but I didn't go as a researcher because you know you need a permit to film. Next time I go there with a as a researcher's permit, so to see whoa, how beautiful this church
Mm.
is,
It's
and
one of
inside
the
the
most
church in
beautiful
Isfahan, yeah, you see
in the
these
world.
angels everywhere. Uh, the same structure. You see that. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah, this is like Persian iconography, like
yes,
the style. It's very interesting.
very,
I like it a lot.
yes,
This is a very unique one. I've never expected to see one that looks like this.
yes, very beautiful. And here is written in Persian, "Tigre foulard gohardar," patterned crucible steel blade. He says here.
Also, it tells you like, hey, this is what it
Yes,
is. That's
yes.
funny.
And here there is
I-
a poem of Shahnameh here. So,
If
yeah.
this wasn't in your book and someone showed me this, I would think that it was made up.
No, it is in my book. It is in this one, I
Yeah.
think. Yes, it is in my book. So now let's go to the next one. So far, so good. You see the blade made of patterned crucible steel, engraved. The handle made of gray jade. You see that? This is when you hold one of them in your hand, the jade handle, or agate is in my book. One of these made of solid piece of agate. You know what it says? Heavy. My God, this is heavy. You know what I mean? Yeah, oh God.
How is the texture of jade? Is it slick?
Yeah, the thing is, yeah, it is. It is slick. But the thing is, because of the structure of the handle, because it goes,
It
yeah,
locks.
it locks. That's the good thing about Khanjar. Khanjar always locks.
Yeah.
Always locks. That's the,
Man,
you know,
look
in
at
a
that
card, you need
feeling.
always to hold it with your thumb because the card, you know, but Khanjar is always locked. Yeah, yeah, always.
That pattern is amazing.
Amazing. Yeah, yeah. Amazing. This old bull is attacking, excuse me, a lion, Persian lion is attacking a bull from Persepolis. So far it goes back. You see it here. Very beautiful, huh? Really beautiful.
And I love Hanjar.
Beautiful, huh? Now we move on to one type of Khanjar. Many people don't know about that. I'm sure they don't see this so often. This one is from this Malbork castle, this Persian collection in Poland. And in Poland, you know that the Polish-Persian relationships have always been excellent. Actually, I've worked
Yes.
with Polish universities, published a lot there, and my colleagues there all share one thing: they love Iran. And many, there are rich private collectors in Poland. My greetings to all of them. They're always cooperative. They always send whatever Persian things they have for me to publish in my books. My greetings to all of you, to Thomas and the rest of them. Don't want to mention the last name as they don't want it, that's clear. But one thing is clear. They told me, just Hayden is very interesting for our members here. In Poland, you can collect everything, but this doesn't count. The biggest thing, the jewel of a collection, is always one thing: Persian. Imagine.
Since time immemorial.
Yes, exactly. It's so
You know what's
beautiful.
funny is many Polish. throughout history swore that they're Iranian.
Yes,
They say they're descendants of Scythians,
yes,
and their fashion throughout the century is very, very similar to Iran.
yes,
I love Poland.
yes. And this
Man,
Khanjar, look at these guys. We talked about it shortly with Hayden yesterday. This side is clearly sharpened. This side is sharpened here, but here is left unsharpened. And this one has a T spine, like a pishqabz. It has a T spine here, in this part. Yeah. So you can hold like this and you can exactly. Interesting. Yes, exactly like that. That's right. Isn't it interesting?
when you first showed me it,
Yeah.
I had a double take because that unsharpened section looks like it was damaged because the color's different. And I'm like, what happened?
Yes. And
Man,
look at
that's so
this time,
interesting.
Hayden. This part looks like a shamshir, right?
Yeah,
It doesn't it? Yeah, it does.
I would be interested to know what angle they sharpened that front edge at.
Yeah. And please take a look at this.
The tip is reinforced,
Absolutely. Reinforced.
and
Yes.
that's for like driving.
Yes.
You
Driving.
grab that T-spine,
Yes.
reinforce it, and
Driving.
drive.
Exactly. Exactly. That's the whole purpose behind that.
And is that Hosro on the handle?
Yes. Sicilian kings again. Absolutely. Yes.
But
And
that
look
one
at
is Hosro.
yes. And look at this. That's the blade.
If you zoom out, it would look like that would be on a shamshir, the whole blade, almost. Or even you could put a pishqabz handle and it would be
Yes.
believable too.
Yes. Yes.
Man, that's so interesting.
The only difference is pishqabz has T spine here, right?
Yes,
Not here.
yes.
So that wouldn't necessarily you see it, so it is the other way around. Because Hayden,
Oh,
you wanted to have all daggers and knives of Persian art reproduced, right? So this is one you need to add to your list.
I don't even know if that's going to be possible getting there's so many different kinds.
Yes.
I feel like there's so many, much more of the knives and daggers than any other kind.
Yes. 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 True.
There's so much depth to all of this.
Yes. Another one, the same type, the same type. This is for in Museum of Bern. And in Switzerland, they have a beautiful Persian arms and armor collection, which a Swiss collector in the 19th century who went to Iran collected them, brought them back, and they are in Bern Museum. And this is in Seller and Rohrer. Two guys wrote a very, very interesting book in German, not in English, in German. It was 19, I think, 53 they published it. And this book is out of print. If you are lucky, you can pay 1,000 euros to get one copy. At least, at least, at least. And there you can see the museum collection of all only Persian arms and armor. Everything. Do you remember that Gariban I showed you for the Zere? Do you remember? That's from that collection.
With
Everything
the
is there. Yeah, exactly. Very outside Iran, I think outside Iran, yes. The most valuable collection of Persian arms and armor is in Bern, Switzerland, outside Iran. In Iran, we have many, of course. But the thing is, for example, when you go to Musée d'Armée, Army Museum in Paris, they have over 600,000 items. They have Chinese, they have Mughal Indian, they have Japanese, they have everything, European, everything. The biggest, largest museum collection of arms and armor in the world is in Paris. But no Persian. Few items Persian. But this burn, only Persian. Because the guy who went to Iran only collected Persian. So look at this. You see that, Hayden? The both look at the daggers, the same thing, T spine, sharpened here. And look at this from in Poland. You see there is
and
no midrib. Do you see that? Central
that's a
midrib.
fuller?
This one, oh, here is a midrib. Here is a
That's
midrib. Sorry.
interesting. I didn't even notice that on the first one.
No, no, exactly. I just want to say this is not central midrib, which runs through the whole thing. This one has a midrib, this part, to strengthen the blade. But this one is not a midrib, is a rib here. Do you see that? Do you see that? Here. But it's a midrib.
And they both have reinforced tips.
Yes, both.
The first one looks like the tip is more reinforced, but
Yes.
that one I can't really tell on the other one.
This one is also this is reinforced through the midrib. Do you see running through the tip?
Hmm.
Of course, the whole design is exactly against main armor, against armor. This you don't need against someone who is just wearing gambeson. You don't need that. A normal Khanjar can go through, right? You don't need this. Unbelievable, huh? It's unbelievable. Yeah,
I wonder who came up with that design.
yeah.
Was it the maker or was it the buyer?
I mean, if the buyer comes up with such a design, this was a guy with lots of battle experience.
Yes,
Right.
that's usually how it goes too.
Yes. It reminds me, good point, an excellent point you bring it up. A Japanese sword maker, that Japanese kept their tradition. He said
Yeah.
something very interesting. He said, "What are you sad?" He said, "I'm really sad. Our craft have become in how beautiful the Nihonto blade is, but we don't get feedback." I said, "What do you mean with feedback?" He said, "This because you know that, for example, if they make a bare blade for you, for a good Japanese smith, it costs you only the blade at least 20,000, at least $20,000, at least, sometimes even more, up to 100,000, only the blade, no fittings." But he said, even if you're rich and buy that, A, you are not a fighter, you don't do cutting tests. And even if you are, who would dare to do a cutting test with such a blade? So blade, you know what I mean? Because if
I
something
would.
happens, but yeah. But he said, Smith, that's interesting. Back then had feedback from cutting tests and from battles. We don't get feedback anymore.
Did they do tests on animals? Like, hey, I'm gonna take this on a hunt and try it and let you know.
I have to say that I hope I'm not going to contribute to prejudices because, guys, please do not judge people back then based on today's standards. Japanese did it on that body of prisoners. They were
Yes.
dead. This is a big, I mean, okay, I'm not, it doesn't make it better. Please don't misunderstand me. But uh, they didn't do it on people who were alive. That's a lie. That's a lie. So they were
Yeah.
prisoners who were killed and then I'm not saying it's good. Even there, it's not good. But I just need to because sometimes lies are spread on the internet, right? That's
Yes.
important. I don't like it. They never tested it on live human being. They were not alive. That's the first thing. Now, I'm not Hayden John saying it's good that do it on that body because it's also not nice. But at least it makes a difference, right? So there is also drawings in Japanese where you see the dead body like that. So the drawings they tell them where to cut. And then on some of Japanese blades, on the tanks, old Japanese blades, it says, in autumn year, whatever, the cut number this was done.
Mhm.
When they mean that successfully, yeah, they mean based on the diagrams. Exactly. And that was the feedback. So that's why, and then they were classified very sharp, sharp, based on those cutting tests. Then the Japanese blades were classified when they were sold.
Mhm.
Yeah. So they had the same feedback process, I'm sure, because you know that a guy who has never been to battlefield would never come up with such a design.
No,
I mean, with no fighting experience,
at
They,
least not without consultation.
yes, they would exactly. You see, so this is one time. Now, this is also from Bern. Yes, made of crucible steel. A wavy blade made of patterned crucible steel. Pula de Gohardar. Khanjar. It's a
Oh,
beautiful blade. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine trying to sharpen that.
Sharp, really sharp. I've seen. I'm going to publish another one from Iranian collection in museum. Extremely sharp, both sides. That sharp. I had Persian shamshirs of Shah. What was that? No, not Sultan Hussein. Oh God, I forgot his name. One of the Safavid kings. You could really cut your nails with that. With such a, they are sharp like hell. Why do I say that? Because Europeans, sometimes they're late European large swords with such wavy blades and they're not sharp. Guys, please do not judge Persian arms and armor with Europeans standards. That's what I wanted to say. So this is also sharp. Do you like this wavy blade?
This blade is crazy.
Crazy, huh? Crazy.
I do like it.
God, look at
Now,
this.
now, do you think the guy who bought this bought it for function, or he just say, "Hey, look at this," and pulls it out, and they're like, "Whoa,
Look at this, Hayden. It has a reinforced tip
yeah."
and it has a midrib. Whenever you have such strong midrib, it's meant to be used.
And you could saw with it
Yeah, you could.
because of
Easy.
the man. That's crazy. How long is that? 30 centimeters.
Yeah, long, like
It
this.
looks long.
Yeah, long. Sharpened
And
on both sides. Yeah,
and the scabbard and grip, they're just plain.
plain, plain.
It's interesting. It's like a, it's like a, it looks plain Jane until you pull it out and you're like, whoa.
Yes. Yes. Beautiful pattern. The pattern on this one is magnificent,
You
Hayden.
need a vacation to Switzerland so you can get hands on.
Yeah, yes, I do. I will contact them. And this is from my book, Arms and Armor from Iran. This is not made of patterned crucible steel. This is high carbon steel. But the surface, sometimes in Qajar period, they did it. They etched it to fake a pattern. But it's not
Mhm.
pattern welded steel, and it is not patterned crucible steel. It's just they fake it, right? So then it looks like a pattern. They etch it. But it is a sharp blade, right? But
It's
look
like
at
an
this.
acid edge. Acid
Yes.
edge.
Yes, exactly. We call it tizab in Persian. Back then they called it tizab. Today they don't do it anymore. But look at this, Aiden. There are two blades coming out from. There is a tongue which comes out. You see that? So the blade opens. So
And it closes in the scabbard.
yes, it closes in the
So it
skin.
springs out like a
It
flower.
springs out. Yes, yes,
Wow.
yes,
That's like a dulficar.
yes. It is. And look at this. It's a solid blade, guys. Don't underestimate it. All those talks, all they were for show. Look, first of all, it's sharp. I had it in my hand. They're sharp. And then in the middle, this reinforced. Do you see that? Hey, yeah, yeah,
That would be a nasty injury.
yeah, yeah. And they call it back then the terror of liver.
Mm. You're not stitching anything that cuts.
But Hayden, look at this. Look at the technology. This handmade, right? Look at the technology they had. Now, if you want to know what the technology is, ask a modern smith to make that.
It's not going to happen.
Exactly. They were going to fail. They're going to fail.
Man, that's crazy. I don't remember this in the book, but
Yeah,
there's
it is
so
in
much in
arms
the
and armor
book
from.
to
You know,
remember.
the problem is Beat said the same thing. He said, there are so many things in your book, but whenever we talk about it, I realize that. Beat said the same thing. Because you fly over it, he said, right? Beat said the
You,
same thing. Yeah.
you're like this in the book the whole time.
Uh, this is in Arms and Armor from Iran. It's unbelievable, isn't it? So, one more added to your list, Hayden, to
I
have
don't
it
know if anyone could
reproduced.
even make that. Who can
I don't
make
know. Personally, I don't know anyone who could make it. No one. I
Just
don't
ask the museum to send it to me.
know. Okay.